Okay, then any sports? Is there going to be a sports channel?
We will disclose that as we get closer to the launch date.
Okay, I told Jeremy I'd like to see mud wrestling. I'm sure they'll do really well.
Mud wrestling, that's interesting.
Okay.
You're probably the first one I heard actually asking about mud wrestling.
Yeah, I know. You got to think out of the box, when you're coming in late to the game with IPTV content. Okay, anyway, I think we may have to censor that part, man. No, okay. Every time I joke on the show that we got to censor that part, the guys just leave it in there, to my horror. Okay, now, all right, let's move on to British Telecom, right? Just 2 weeks ago, published their rates for HSBB, their version, at around £25 for something like 20 megabytes. And does this put any
megabits?
Megabits. Does this put any pressure on your own pricing strategy? Because I mean, my sources have told me that you're going to probably do it at about 200 ringgit for 10 megabits, and 250 or 270 for 20 megabits. So, does that, because people are going to say, hey, it's £25, it's like 25 ringgit, and even if you convert it, it's way cheaper than your 10 megabit price. So, the question is, does that put any pressure on your pricing? Because what in the UK is being made available.
Pricing is always a function of many things, right? Obviously, you need to look into cost, you need to look into alternatives, you need to look into options, and you also tend to benchmark against other similar services or other similar countries.
Yes.
Yeah? So there's a lot of factors that need to be considered. We have done all those. We have conducted our internal, external customer surveys. We have done two customer surveys over the past 18 months or so, to basically gauge and understand what's the market expectation, those sort of things, right? Which includes also some element of pricing in there. So we have taken all these factors into consideration to arrive at what we believe is the right pricing. Again, we will share that as we get closer to the launch date. What we do believe that our pricing is going to be competitive. Again, the whole idea of HSBB is all about value that the customer is getting. It's basically what is the value that you are getting for the price that you're paying. So we do believe that we can deliver that value to the customer.
But how far is this off that it's 200 and 250 ringgit for 10 and 20?
I think I will leave that as when we publish that data.
Okay, all right. Just moving on to what kind of take-up rates are you expecting in the first year?
As in normal new services, I mean, the take-up obviously is going to be slow in the beginning and it will pick up later, we do hope that we're getting a high take-up. That will help definitely the business case.
Of course, yeah. So and everybody's bonus in December.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So we definitely would like to see higher take-ups. But we do expect that there will be some level of gradual pickup over the months. Remember that in the beginning, as we have actually published in our website where the rollout areas are, the first we were going to roll out at end of March, which is basically which brings us to the second quarter. Second quarter which basically cover four areas. Four exchange areas, which is Taman Tun, Suruhanjaya, Shah Alam, and Bangsa. And then the next phase or the next wave is going to be third quarter, fourth quarter. So as you can imagine, almost
so not second quarter, but
second quarter is the four areas technically,
4 areas,
because we're launching end of first quarter, so it's rolling into the second quarter. So the second quarter is basically the four areas, and then third quarter, fourth quarter. So obviously this year we don't expect obviously that high, especially because we are picking up, but we do hope that the market will always surprise you anyway, right? We do hope there will be huge take up obviously in the beginning.
Just a few more questions, and there was a comment by Dato' Rais Yatim about 3 weeks ago, saying that the government feels broadband rates are still too high, and I know PCOM has been for the longest time arguing and lobbying that the rates are too high and you should lower it to like 20 ringgit for the lowest package. And just the way Rais said it, just kind of raise something in my subconscious that, hey, I think this is going to happen once HSBB is out there and it's got a bit of traction. But do you think the government will mandate for broadband general population, which is what Streamix is called now, but it's going to be rebranded as BBGP, right? Will be much lower once HSBB has been deployed in phase 1. In phase 1, I think will take 12 months for phase 1 to be fully deployed, or it's 18 months for phase 1 of HSBB.
When you say phase 1, what do you refer to?
Phase 1 for the, I think it's predominantly the Klang Valley rollout, right, for phase 1.
Oh, okay. That is 3 years. 3 years.
It's over 3 years.
The whole.
So obviously, then I'm wrong. You cannot wait 3 years. But do you think anytime within the first year of HSBB being launched, the government will come in and say,
I wouldn't be able to speculate on that.
Your own personal thought that he takes off his telecom hat and his personal opinion.
That's difficult. But I would say that in any open economy, right? Laws of economics will always apply. When there is demand, there will always be supply, right? If the demand, the market forces will dictate naturally the price.
The price.
Yeah, naturally, it will happen. Okay. So I think even without any intervention or government mandating something, again, my personal opinion, I think the market forces will dictate that.
Will dictate, huh? Okay, man. So market forces, do your job. Okay, you've heard it now. You can dictate the price of BBGP. Okay, now just two more questions, which is what impact to your revenue are you projecting for HSBB in the first year of ops?
I don't think I can disclose that, obviously.
Okay.
that's a bit tricky. Okay. But again, I come back to my earlier comment that obviously we would like a huge take up in the beginning. We also need to be able to align and to tailor our own internal capacity to be able to deliver the services back to the market. And we need to make sure that we are able to deliver that good service out to the market so that the investment that we put in on the ground actually generate the right return for us back. Yeah.
Okay. And then I guess the last question is you're now set to be launching HSBB 1 month early, but apparently you're saying you're sticking to your end, March.
Not sure where you got that 1 month early from.
A colleague just told me they read it in the newspapers over the weekend, so I didn't check it myself, so I don't read the newspapers much actually.
Interesting.
But so I mean, so the link is that this is because of Time.com's launch of its 50 megabit broadband service last week. So
well, we maintain our dates on our launch dates. We're focusing on delivering that. We're focusing on making sure that we do the best that we can to deliver the best quality of best quality possible to our customers. And I really can't comment on our competitors, obviously, but
so. But at times, 2 megabit pricing is like in the 100 plus range, and then the 10 megabits is in the 300 something plus range, which is really high.
What do you think?
I mean, as I told the CEO, I think is he promising heaven for his 10 megabit customers, because then I'll subscribe and pay 350 plus. So I guess of course they don't have scale, but they are relying on really delivering close to 10 megabit quality, and some customers will pay. So we'll see.
The comments like that will be the inputs that we take to determine our own pricing as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Right now we have our what we believe the right pricing and the competitive pricing that we can go to market with. But obviously market forces will dictate also how we're going to go out to market.
Okay, good stuff. Thanks a lot for your time, for sharing. And that was, if you caught on the show late, it was Ahmad Azhar, Program Director for HSBP Telecom Malaysia. And with that, we end the show. We hope you picked up some interesting insight from the show. Have a great and productive week ahead with technology, and we'll see you next week.